Alright guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice 9-game slate here, joined as always with Chrissair DFS. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Is DraftKings down for you? I can't get on the site.
Yes.
It's down?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange. So, yeah, probably can't go over that right now. But yeah, I'm excited for the slate here.
Oh yeah, how excited are you for the slate, Chris? It's a Wednesday night slate. How excited are you?
Yeah, those are usually the good ones. We have a few really fun games Washington's playing. We always love when Washington plays. So yeah, I like it.
Apparently it's up. Oh no, it's up now.
Yeah, it's up now. Got it.
Yeah, it was down. So you said Washington game, so you're excited for that because it's a Washington game slate and it's a Wednesday night slate.
Yep.
Let's see who we got in the chat. We have Brent here. It says another big night in the association. Let's crush it, guys. What's up, Brent? First chat of the day from him. Royal King says he's here early today. David Cree was early. All these guys were actually early, Chris. Brent was here like 40 minutes before the show. Royal King and David Cree 10 minutes before. So these guys are early. Yeah, Austin was wondering how excited you were about the slate. Ronald Jones is in here. What's up? T-Bay is in here as well. He just says so weird. Not sure what that's about. He just says so weird. Yeah, let's get into it, Chris. Let's see. You got your DK link now, so the site's up. Maybe we can go over DK, or maybe just load it up while the site is working. One sec. Okay. So let's open up success from yesterday. Quiet night. It was some high scores needed to cash, right?
Yeah, just happens sometimes, but yeah, there were.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Nick here first up on DK, 157 to 265. Solid stuff. NBA main slate. Biscuit here. This was NBA main slate on DK as well, 126 into 193. Solid stuff out of him. Both scored 344.25. And then this was the big one yesterday. Anush over here. What did he do? He shipped it here. Wasn't a solo shipment, I don't think. Was it, Chris?
No, you said quiet night, and we have this 3K win here, so that's pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, it was a quiet night for the Crunchers. It definitely was. Quieter than most nights, but we still have a big win here from Anush. So I'm not saying this is a small win or anything. This is awesome. Yeah, Anush has won a few of these throughout the season so far. I think three or four this year, I believe. I think he had a bigger one the other one time where he probably didn't split it as many ways. But yeah, he's been solid in these. Was this the main slate? No, this was single game. We went over this one yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this one was his winning lineup here. He had Fred VanVleet at the MVP, Siakam at the star, Paul George at the pro, and then Morris and Jackson as the util slots there. Yeah, we kind of were talking about this. We did some builds yesterday as well where what did we do? We just said one of the... did we do any builds? We just excluded, I think, Paul George and Kawhi. The Clippers guys who were popping at the MVP, and then let it run from there. So, Anush obviously didn't enter 150 here. He did, 3, 6, 9 entries. So this is a 150 entry, Chris?
Yep.
Yeah, so he only did 9 entries, but yeah, it's even more impressive. So shout out to Anush for this win. Love to see it. Solid stuff. So I'm not sure what the total was. Probably around 3K here. Yeah, probably around 3K,
yeah,
maybe
probably.
a bit over. But yeah, that's awesome. Should we open it, see what we could have got there? Kind of curious.
Sure. But are we going to play around with groups and stuff? Because, it's I think it takes more than just excluding someone. You have to build a few times, see what it gives you, play with it, stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to just do it now.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's see what else. Roll King says LFGGGGG. T-Base says Anush is a beast. I'm still waiting on my steak dinner. Yeah, Thomas thinks Anush needs to take him out for a steak dinner because he shipped it here. Is that the case, Chris? Is that fair?
Yeah, that's a lot of money right there.
Yeah. Yeah, next up we got Deshaun over here. So he did $36 into 77 with a 400.7 score. That's insane. Solid stuff out of him. Got Aiden here, posted his entries and lineups. $10 into 20 baseball late slate on FanDuel, and then main slate baseball on DK, 50 into 100. So solid stuff there as well. Trigger over here says we're still waiting on Chris's TikTok dance.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that. It's coming.
Is it coming? We
still have time.
There's no deadline? Is it just like an open-ended deadline there for you?
It's coming. That's all the people need to know.
The more you say this, I feel like the higher the expectations are. If you don't go viral with it, it's a flop.
I'll try.
This point. It's in the works, is what Trigger says.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's go over... You don't have anything posted here, so let's go over DK, because that site might go down. You never know. So yeah, 26th place here. You did win here in this double up, $50, so broke even, a bit more than broke even, depending on your contest allocation, what you entered. You might did you break even, or did you go a bit less or a bit more?
No, I went a bit more, but yeah, it was just I think a 2v2 here. So the 7th place team, which was 1.25 points higher than this team, Both of them are trains. Let's just click on it, and then we can take a look at both. Yeah, so just click on, I don't know. Yeah, that 7th place. So it was Diallo and Nunn versus, I think...
What is the site?
What do you mean?
Like, what is this scroll bar here?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, it's Diallo and Nunn versus McDaniels and Dragic. Diallo obviously had a crazy game, so that was kind of the difference here. Like I said, 1 point difference pretty much decided the slate there. Still broke even, but would have had a big night on DK if I won the 2v2. Everything else kind of built itself here. Could we just see the full lineup once again?
Yes.
Yeah, could you just go back to contest as well, just so we could see the ownership?
Go back where? Sorry. Oh, to the regular?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you?
Anyone there. So yeah, like I said, very chalky day. Everyone is over 85% other than that 2v2. So those were pretty much the only two positions that were up in the air yesterday. And yeah, didn't win the 2v2 with the other side there, obviously, but still had a decent night. A lot of sharp people on this lineup. So yeah, that's how DraftKings went.
Okay. T-Bay Chris, sorry, Royal King, about your TikTok, he says, can't rush greatness. So you probably like that one. And then
Exactly.
T-Bay follows it up saying, can Chris even dance? To which I'd say that's probably the same thing, same reaction I have when you, Thomas, when you say that you can sing.
Yeah, I can dance as well as he can sing.
Which, when I hear that, isn't very reassuring because Thomas has been pumping his tires about his singing capabilities for like a few months now, and no one's ever heard him sing, so that's not very reassuring for me.
Yeah.
About your TikTok dance. BC over here, he says, message from the Euro saver Luca. My friend Goat Pazzo has suggested me the song Vera Matovic. After years of listening, I have come to the conclusion that you should listen to it as well.
What is that message? What's the song?
Vera Matovic. Apparently, it's a Serbian folk singer, born in 1946, age 74, still active. Her name is Vera Matovic.
Is there like a go-to song?
Is there? BC, is there a go-to song? I don't know if we'll get a response out of BC. He always has like these nice messages out of the blue. Trigger says, can't rush greatness again. He's asking if we heard Goran Dragic's rap song. Have you, Chris?
No, I didn't even know that existed. Dragic? No, I haven't.
No, I didn't know. I'll look it up later. He says, Mika Milan? Do we open it up?
If you found it.
Should we open it or what do we
found
do?
it?
Yeah.
Have you found? Yeah, open it.
No, you can't hear it though.
It's fine.
What is this?
Miki Milane, baš mi ne daš mira.
Is this what Luca listens to?
Nije moje, srce od papira, pa da ti ga dam. Što mi kažu da za mene lomiš kao jedan dan.
Eddie would love this.
Probat ću te ja, pa da ti ga dam. Kao vizira,
Yeah, it's kind of like
pa da ti ga Milane.
ABBA, ABBA vibes. Serbian ABBA vibes, but not a group, just one person. That makes sense, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear it, but yeah, it's probably good.
Oh my god. Dinda says Vera Matovic equals Rondo, still plugging along. 74 years old. We got Brian OGNO Ogno. He says, turn this trash off right now. Yeah, we'll get into the DFS content now. We just have to go over FanDuel, so we can do that. That does sound like a Thomas comment, though, out of Brian. Turn this trash off right now. That's not bad, but I mean, I don't think it's expected on crunch time to go through Vera Matovic. But I'll send it in the Discord to you, Chris. You can listen to it later. Let's open up FanDuel. Should we open up anyone side by side?
I mean, on FanDuel yesterday, there were some trains. Didn't do too well. Obviously, this lineup ended up winning, but yeah, you needed like 400 to cash in a lot of double ups, stuff like that. So yeah, just didn't land on the right combination. I like the lineup a lot. Got on all these Kings guys after Metu was ruled out, so that obviously bumped up Bagley, bumped up Holmes, so got off of Bam. And got off of McDaniels, which I mean I didn't love, but that was kind of the big thing here that didn't work out. Fred VanVleet got the bump with Lowry being ruled out like 30 minutes before that game started, so that was pretty big for people who had Fred. And yeah, I mean I like the lineup. It was very chalky for the most part. Like I mean everyone played the same players pretty much, just because there were a lot of injuries. Today's going to be similar, so I mean. Yeah, this is kind of late season DFS here.
Yep. Let's see. Brian says, let's get to that bag tonight, y'all. Trigger says, after the Gore and Dragic rap video, of course. I haven't found it. Do you have a link, Chris?
No, I tried looking it up, but I couldn't find it either.
We need Trigger to send the link, and then maybe we can pull it up. Sean says, Kevin Porter dropping 50 fantasy points tonight.
Yeah, I mean, no wood. I like KJ Martin as well. Yeah, I'm down with it.
Okay. Brian Ognos says, FanDuel scoring has been through the roof since the All-Star break. Seems like you need 420 fantasy points to have a real shot at a takedown in a GPP. I feel like you need more in like the multi-entry.
I think you need something like that most nights, but it just really depends on like how the studs do every night. Like you had Chalky DeLon Wright go for 60, 5.5K, so that just bumps up the score by like 30 points for every lineup. Then you had KD and Giannis do their thing as well. Then you had value guys like Diallo, who was 4K, go for 45. So you're going to have high scores when you have these chalky guys go crazy high.
Yeah, Austin says it was 435 last night. Jabo says, has Brogdon been ruled out again tonight, Chris?
Brogdon?
Yeah, Malcolm Brogdon. Broggy?
He's still questionable.
Still questionable?
Yeah.
Still waiting. Let's see. Brian says, ran CP3 last night and that man snapped.
Yeah, I think he had a slow start. I was watching the game and then I looked at the box score at the end. He had like 27 points, 16 assists, like 70 fantasy points out of nowhere. So, yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, T-Bay says, I thought 371 would be enough. I was hot last night. They make it so difficult sometimes. They. He says, I was not pleased. Yeah, let's get into the slate, Chris. Let's get some money tonight. 9 games here, 18 teams to choose from. You mentioned the Washington game, so I know that. What games do you like here? What news do you like here today?
So we still have value from the Kings once again, just like yesterday. No Fox, no Hallie. So DeLon Wright's a good play. Terrence Davis is a really good play as well. Bagley as well. No Harrison Barnes. Holmes is a decent play once again. We have Tristan Thompson out, so Time Lord is in play. Obviously, the Wizards Milwaukee game with Giannis and Westbrook is going to be one that we're going to target. I think you can play both of those guys on both sites. I think that gives you a really good floor. That's the highest over-under game. Pretty tight spread. Only four. Sorry, I got an emergency alert on my phone. Did you get that?
Yeah. Is it an emergency, Chris? Are we under attack?
Yeah, this is a test of the British Columbia emergency, and my watch is just vibrating like crazy. But yeah, what else? What else is there? Houston as well. No Christian Wood, obviously. We talked about that. Someone said that Porter's going for 50. I have a lot of interest in Kevin Porter. Probably more on FanDuel, but I like him a lot. KJ Martin, I mentioned him. Really good value today. No Jayshawn Tate either. So he should play a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good spots here, so I'm definitely excited for this slate.
Yep. T-Bay, did you get the notification as well? Brian here says Memphis, Minnesota for him, and then Indy, Sacramento as well.
Memphis, Minnesota. and Indy Sacramento. Yeah, Indiana, we're kind of waiting on the Brogdon news. Sabonis is very expensive now, so it's not like he's a must. I'd probably rather play Giannis and Westbrook. Just feel safer with them. But yeah, maybe if Brogdon's out, I'll have more interest in Sabonis.
Trigger thinks you're Batman, Chris. He says, Chris, that's a signal to save the city. The people need you.
Yeah. Emergency. I don't know if you could see it, but it says emergency alert. You see the little symbol?
Is there an emergency?
No, it just says this is a test.
Nice. What if you don't have a phone? Then you don't get the emergency. There. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to focus, but yeah.
Yeah, you got your webcam upgrade recently. Looks better, I think. Not recently, but like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Yeah, but it's not 60 FPS. It's only 30 FPS. I don't know why it doesn't notice my computer's USB 3 or whatever the better one is, 4. I don't know.
3? It should work. I'm not sure. I had the converter on that one. It was working, but I don't know. Jabo says Tristan Thompson is out, so Robert Williams should get a big boost in playing time. That's the first game we'll go over, so we can get into that one. T-Bay says he got the alert too. So strange. British Columbia is too safe for these false alarms. Shaking my head. World King says states of emergency could mean it might be a big takedown tonight, Chris.
But yeah, that's true. Definitely emergency alert.
We should push those out for crunch takedowns. For Anusha's takedown. Willie Hoops, Mo Bamba, or Robert Williams on FanDuel, Chris?
Robert Williams for sure.
Dinda says maybe an alert for your dog.
No, not this time.
You were kind of late today too. I thought something was up with the dogs, but no.
I was good. 1 minute late. I didn't know that I didn't give you the thumbnail. That's why. I mean, did you see me sitting there? I was just sitting here at 1:31. I was wondering why you weren't going live. Then I noticed it was LaMelo Ball on the thumbnail.
Yeah. I sent you a message a bit earlier. David says, thoughts on campaign for value on DK?
I don't think you need it, honestly. I mean, he's a decent play, but I mean, we have some other value guys. We have DeLon Wright, I mentioned him. Avery Bradley, I think he's a decent value guy. Facu Campazzo once again. So I don't know if you need campaign, but he's a high usage guy off the bench, so he always has the upside in tournaments.
Yeah, and then lastly, last comment here before we do this Boston-Orlando game first. Trigger says, it's an emergency alert when I step on the court.
When he steps on the court?
Yeah, for his own safety or the safety of others?
I don't know, but did you see that Anderson Varejao signed with the Cavs once again? That's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, he's in the league? Is this like a Haslam signing here?
No, I think he's a little younger. He was on the Warriors, I think, a few years ago. Should have gone to the Lakers. Huh?
I thought he was a bum.
He's a bum.
Huh?
He is.
What a weird signing, no? I guess someone has to fill that role for Drummond. Empty void there. Yeah, that's what DJ says. Varejao signing. Varejau's the veteran presence they needed. Maybe that was the emergency alert, Chris.
He's the difference maker.
Yeah. Let's get into it, Chris. Boston, Orlando, first game up. Celtics side, we got Tristan Thompson out. Who mentioned that? We had that question. Jabo. Tristan Thompson out. Jaylen Brown out. Tatum and Kemba Walker in. Projected starters: Walker, Smart, Fournier, Tatum, and Rob Williams. So I guess we could start off with Jabo's question. It wasn't really a question. He just said Tristan Thompson is out, so Robert Williams should get a big boost in playing time. Is he a guy that we're interested in targeting because of that today, Chris? Is the pricing fair, or is it too high?
I mean, we love playing this guy whenever Tristan Thompson's out. I feel like whenever Thompson is in, Brad Stevens always just plays Thompson way too many minutes. I think Robert Williams is the much better big there. very good point per minute guy in DFS, so we love playing him whenever we can. I think he's very easy to get to on this slate as well. He's 5.4 on FanDuel, just way too cheap. DraftKings, he's 5.4 as well, so also way too cheap. So he's the main guy for me here. Don't have a great game environment against the Magic, so I'm not too interested in taking advantage of the Jaylen Brown news with someone like Tatum. Tatum's 10-1 on both sites, so if you play him, you probably can't play both of Westbrook and Giannis together. I'd much rather just spend the extra $1,000, get up for those two studs who are just way safer. They do everything on the court, and better matchup, obviously, than this one for Tatum. So it's just going to be Robert Williams here for me as a value guy, just because we can take advantage of the TT situation.
Yep. Okay, let's do Orlando. Over there we have Chuma Kiki out, T. Ross out, Otto Porter out, Michael Carter Williams out, James Ennis out, Carter Jr. questionable, Mo Bamba. Is he in, Mo Bamba?
Mo Bamba?
Yeah, he's fine, so. Right? Then we have someone called Sindarius Thornwell, 10-day two-way contract for the Magic. Do you know Sindarius Thornwell, Chris?
Yeah, he's been a DFS guy for us. He was on the Clippers before, but they waived the guy that broke his ankle to get this guy. So it's always kind of sad when I hear that when these random guys get hurt who don't really have a place in the league, and then they just get waived right away for some other bum.
Wait, who got waived? Who was it? Someone else? Not Sindarius?
The guy who broke his ankle.
Oh, from the Princeton boy? Oh, and they just dumped him?
Yeah, they always do it with these bums who get hurt, but I feel bad calling him a bum because he got hurt, but yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, projected starters: Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Dwayne Bacon, Mo Wagner. We had some discussion around Mo Wagner the other night in the Crunch Room, Chris. And then Wendell Carter Jr., if he is playing. What do you make of the Magic here tonight?
Just no one needed here. Maybe if Carter's out, Bamba will be more in play. Bamba's had some good games. RJ Hampton as well has just been playing out of his mind his last two, so I think he's a good tournament play on DraftKings for 4 or 5. And then Wagner, 4.9 on both sites. I played him last time. He played 42 minutes, so I was happy with that, but he didn't produce too well. I think on this giant slate, we don't really need it. He was more of a last piece last time out. Probably just Hampton here in tournaments for me on DraftKings.
Okay. Willie's asking, should we target Fournier as a starter against... Oh, yeah. Former team, Chris. We got the Fournier revenge narrative there.
He's just looked awful. Like, he's had one good game, I think, since joining the Celtics. Maybe a few more, but he's had some very, very bad games. I mean, if you want to do it in tournaments, I guess, because Jaylen Brown is out now, I guess it's okay, but it seems a little thin for me.
Okay. So him and Aaron Gordon, fool's gold.
Why?
They've looked awful.
I mean, Aaron Gordon is better than Fournier, I think.
Yeah, probably. Dennis asking if there's a Cinco de Mayo team, Chris, with Verjao. We have Bruno Caboclo, Verjao. Who else do we have?
The guy Bebe on the Raptors.
Okay.
Lucas Nogueira, I think. Lucas Nogueira.
Oh yeah. I love that guy. Yeah, Lucas Nogueira.
What's his name? Bebe.
Yeah, Bebe. Yep. So we got this. We got that.
Barbosa.
Yeah. We got what's his name? Leonardo Barbosa.
Yeah. Is Campazzo? Where's Campazzo's Argentina?
Yeah.
Gabriel Deck, Argentina.
Who was the other guy I said? Bruno Caboclo. I think that's how you spell it. There you go. Yes, we have a starting 4 here. Verjao at the 5, Nogueira 4, Caboclo at the 3,
Barbosa at the 2, and then give me Facu at the 1. Campazzo.
Facu Campazzo. There we go. This is a nice squad, no? Hasty would love this squad. What do you guys think? Do you like it, Chris?
Maybe Gabriel Deck as well, fresh off his new contract.
He hasn't played. Or he played.
He's actually pretty good. Yeah,
he's
pretty
good. He's worth the money.
Yeah, for a tanking team.
Yeah. Trigger says Verjao locked and loaded tonight. David's asking thoughts on RJ Hampton.
Yeah, I like him in tournaments. I can't do it in cash games. Yeah, he's been getting the minutes, been playing crazy, so I do like it in tournaments.
Yep. And then Trigger here says they're not from Brazil, not Mexico. He says Nene.
Yeah, Nene.
Nene. He doesn't have a name, right? First name?
I think it's Nene Hilario. I don't know what his actual name is.
Oh, yeah, Hilario. Changed his name. Yeah, but he changed it just to Nene. Got rid of the first name. Yeah, that's a good squad there. Willie's asking or saying Mo Bamba's probably starting with Carter out. If Carter is out, Chris.
Yeah, if Carter's out, Carter's currently questionable, so I have to wait for that news. But I'm probably going to prefer Robert Williams over Mo Bamba. I mean, Mo Bamba, he always seems like he can get hurt. He's been playing very well though, so. But he's 6'2" on FanDuel. Robert Williams is 5'4". DraftKings, Bamba is 5'3", Williams is 5'4", so more of a DK play. You could probably get both of them in that scenario, but we'll have to wait for that news.
Okay. Then Trigger's giving us a Mo Wagner alert, Chris. Is that valid for tonight?
I'm fine with it just because of the minutes he's getting.
Okay, and then DJ says Iggy Brazdeikis.
No, not for me. I mean, I watched the game last time. He played 31 minutes. He just looked awful. He got 23 fantasy points, but I mean, he looked awful.
Trigger says, can't wait for the Mo Bamba versus Flo Thamba battle of ages next season.
Who's Flo Thamba?
I don't know. I don't know if I should look it up.
They're from Baylor. I see it. Flo Thamba.
Wow.
Is this guy good?
That sounds like a nice battle. I like it. Flo Thamba. Do you think he's going to get a song as well?
Maybe. Is he from New York?
If he gets a song, that'd be pretty good. He's from Congo.
I don't think he's getting a song then.
High school, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 1.5 blocks as a senior. Is that... He must have been on a good team or something.
Not enough points?
Yeah.
I mean, why must he have been on a good team?
14 points, is that... Could do more damage, no?
It's just a big player? Guy. Probably a defender? I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, let's go over the next one, Chris. Portland, Cleveland. Portland side, we have Norm Powell, questionable. Dame Lillard, probable. Projected starters, Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, Norm Powell, Rocco, and Yusef Nurkic. Any interest here, Chris, going up against the Cavs?
Not too much here, just because, like I keep saying, my favorite spend-ups are going to come from the Milwaukee-Washington game with Westbrook and Giannis. So I don't really want to spend up for the Blazers here in this matchup against the Cavs. It's back-to-back for the Cavs as well, so they might just kind of fold early. So I don't really want to play Dame or CJ here. Same as Nurkic. I don't think I want anyone from the Blazers tonight.
Okay. Din is asking, where the hell has Brittany Claxton been?
I think health and safety protocols, or maybe a concussion. I'm not sure, but we got Wendell Carter out.
Mo Bamba up?
Yeah, probably on DK.
Nice. And did you remove him to 0?
Yeah.
Does this not work? Because I'm still testing out this other site here.
It takes a little bit. It's probably done.
Probably done.
Bamba's playing.
Pardon?
Yeah, right there.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Oh, Wendell. Yeah, works. Nice. Okay, yeah. So no one on Portland for you, Chris. Let's load up Cleveland. Go over that. Some questions I see loading up, piling up. So we have Hardenstein probable, Lamar Stevens out, Darius Garland out, Verjao, he signed for the Cavs. Is he playing today?
Yeah, he's available to play, but I don't think he's going to play. Maybe like 8 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah. Projected starters: Sexton, Okoro, Chetty Osman, Kevin Love, and Jarrett Allen. Thoughts on the Cavs, Chris?
Yeah, I don't want to play the Cavs. Maybe Chetty Osman. He played 45 minutes yesterday in an OT game, so if it didn't go OT, it would have been 40 minutes. So maybe him, just because of the minutes. Maybe Sexton, but he's expensive. So I don't know. I'm not too interested here, honestly.
Okay. Jabo says, thoughts on Campazzo with Dozier and Morris out?
Yeah, I like Campazzo, especially on DK. I think he's 4.6, so looking like a solid play there.
Goat Pazzo, right? Yep. Trigger says, hope Josh Jackson is okay after that brutal tooth injury.
I mean, who said that?
Trigger.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, tooth injury, like, you have a lot of nerves in your gums, so I mean, those hurt. So, I don't know if it's like a bad thing to be out with that.
Wait, did he get? Weren't we making fun of his toothache the other day?
Yeah.
What did he get?
Was his tooth knocked out? No, I don't know what happened, but I was saying, like, toothaches, they're no joke. You have a lot of nerves in your mouth.
Have you had one before?
No.
So, how do you know?
I got my wisdom tooth out.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the surgeon messed up.
I mean, maybe you don't have nerves in your mouth. I don't know. Like, anyone would say it hurts.
Yeah. Let's see. Jermaine says best center on FanDuel, under 7K.
Robert Williams.
Rob Williams. Okay. Yeah, let's go into the next one. Philadelphia, Houston. 76ers first. We just have Furkan Korkmaz out. Projected starters: Benjamin Simmons, Seth Curry, Green, Harris, and Joel Embiid. Yeah, please tell me we don't have to play Simmons tonight, Chris.
Yeah, you don't have to play Simmons tonight. I don't think you have to play the Sixers at all for the rest of the season until they start resting guys. Because they're locked into the whatever seed they're in, but they're locked into the playoffs. I think a top 3 seed or something. They're playing against the Rockets, 15-point spread here. We expect a blowout, so I don't really want to touch anyone here when the Sixers are obviously playing it cautious now with their stars. We had that report a few days ago that they do want to rest their guys a little bit in this stretch of 5 games and 7 nights. So yeah, I'm not too interested in the Sixers here until the playoffs, probably.
Okay. Yeah, trigger on the tooth thing. He says Pistons are just innovating new ways to tank, and you're just buying it up, Chris.
Well, I mean, Josh Jackson, he helps you tank. That's what I'm saying.
With his toothache?
No, just him being on the court helps you lose.
Jabo says Okoro had a big game last night, Chris. Is that something that you're interested in?
Not really, but he did have a big game. He played 47 minutes in the OT, so if he didn't play OT, it would have been 42. 47 fantasy points. So I mean, maybe he's reaching the point where he's graduating from the cardio, moving up to the weight room, I guess. Because yeah, he had 32 real life points.
Yes. Jurgos says this game has blowout written all over it.
Yeah, but I mean, on the other side with the Rockets, they're kind of blowout proof. They're a G League team. So I do have some interest in the Rockets tonight.
And then T-Base says on Okoro, he says, yeah, it looks like the hamster got to come out of his cage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Clement's asking, is there a way I can upload projections? Upload your own projections or download these projections? Well, I guess we can answer both, Chris.
Yeah, you currently can't download, but it's something that's on the to-do list. But you can upload your own if you have your own. Top right, that little button there. Yeah, just click on it. Yeah, and then you just upload it, whatever format, CSV, XLS. And yeah, if you've used Fantasy Cruncher before, it's very similar. Or any other optimizer, Rotogrinders, any of them.
Yep. Jermaine says, any Neto love at the PG spot?
Honestly, I haven't considered him, but I mean, it's a really good game environment. He's 4.5 on DraftKings. On FanDuel, he is 4.4. Minutes, he's not getting too many minutes. I mean, sometimes it goes up a little more. He only played 23 last game, 29 the game before, 18 the game before, so it's pretty inconsistent. If he got like 30 plus minutes here, I would love him in this matchup. Like I said, this is the highest over-under game on the slate, so I'm fine with it in tournaments, but don't need it in cash games.
Okay, let's see what else we got. Hasty's in here. What's up? David says, thoughts on Daquan Jeffries on DK.
Does that guy play for Houston?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm fine with him. I prefer someone like Kenyon Martin Jr. Obviously, different price tags on those guys, but yeah, I mean, they're very thin today, so all these guys are going to be in play. So I don't mind it, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. Sean says Paul Reed definitely about to be in the winning lineups tonight.
Who?
Paul Reed.
Is that the guy on the Sixers?
I
think he's on the Sixers. Or he was on the Sixers earlier.
Yeah, on the Sixers. I don't know if he still is. Is he?
Probably.
Is he a beast? Career highlights and awards. NBA G League MVP 2021. That's nice. That's like getting Boucher vibes. NBA G League Rookie of the Month 2021. All NBA G League First Team 2021. All Defensive Team. All Rookie Team. Yeah, he must be a beast. Is he good?
I remember we played him on the night where they had 7 guys when Maxey went for 40. He didn't look too good.
Yeah, interesting. Let's see. Trigger says, any love for Jake Layman tonight, Chris?
Where are all these names coming from? Daquan Jeffries, Paul Reed, Jake Layman. Does he still play for the Timberwolves?
Layman? Yeah, isn't he still in the Wolves?
Has he been playing? Like, he hasn't played since the 18th of April, and that was 4 minutes. So no. I mean, am I missing something? Is someone out? Culver's out, but Culver's been out. Jake Layman, are you sure you got the name right?
Yep. Jake space Layman.
No love for Layman tonight.
I love him. I love his game. I know Hasty loves his game as well, the way he plays. Trigger says B-Ball Paul, G League MVP. T-Bay says LaMelo is like Hyun Jin Ryu. LaMelo Ryu in the flesh, baseball/basketball player.
That guy's not even. That guy sucks now. Ryu, not a good pitcher anymore.
Yeah. Let's go over Rockets, Chris. Did we do that? No, we haven't done that. So on the Rockets side, we have Sterling Brown, Wilson, Waba, Tate, and Gordon all out. Christian Wood, House, doubtful. And then Augustine, questionable. Projected starters, Kevin Porter, Avery Bradley, Jeffries, Martin, and Olynyk. Thoughts here, Chris, on the Rockets?
Yeah, so the Rockets are going to pop a lot as value guys on this slate because I think they have 7 active bodies. Maybe 8 if Augustine plays, but Augustine is questionable. So yeah, they're all interesting for sure. We had the Daquan Jeffries question. I kind of have to wait and see who they end up starting before I make a decision on these secondary guys. For now, I'm just going to stick with the guys who I know are going to start, who I know are going to demand usage. So I love Kevin Porter Jr. today. He's 6'9" on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's a little more. I think he's 7.7K over there. 7.7. So I think he's blowout proof here. They clearly just want to, I don't know, just play their young guys, not even see what they have. They want to lose. They want to tank. But I think Kevin Porter Jr. is going to play the entire game, even if it's a blowout. He's going to have all the usage in the world here without Christian Wood. So I like him a lot on FanDuel. DraftKings, like I said, he's a little more expensive, so you don't need it in cash games. I think I do like it in tournaments though, just because not many people will be on it for that price tag. Then we have KJ Martin. Is his name KJ or Kenyon? Can you look him up on BREF? I always say both because on FanDuel they have him as KJ, or they have him as Kenyon Martin on FanDuel. On DraftKings they have him as KJ Martin.
Kenyon? KJ Martin on Twitter.
Yes. I don't know what it is. But yeah, Martin here. I think he's going to be my favorite overall play across both sites. He's 3.9 on DK. I think he's going to be very chalky there. FanDuel 4.7. So I think he's going to be one of the most popular players on the slate. Should play 40-plus minutes here. He's not really an exercise guy. He's pretty active with stocks. He rebounds the ball well. Scores a lot of dunks, so pretty easy baskets. Only concern would be if he gets into foul trouble, if he gets switched on to Embiid or something like that. I mean, I think he might actually just play the 4 here. Maybe some 5 when Kelly Olynyk is out. So yeah, I love Kenyon Martin Jr. here. He's my favorite guy across both sites. And then, like I said, the rest of these guys, I'm going to kind of wait and see who ends up starting. We know that Kelly Olynyk is going to start. He's 7.8 on FanDuel, 7.5 on DK. He's kind of the expensive guy here outside of Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, he's very sneaky. He's been going for 45-plus in 5 out of his last 6 games. No Christian Wood here. Very good point per minute guy. So, I mean, I have some interest in Olynyk, another guy that won't really pop in cash games with projections, but I think in tournaments he's going to be very, very sneaky just because he's pretty expensive. So I do like him. Avery Bradley for the minimum on DK. He's 3K. I don't mind that if he starts. We'll have to wait and see if he does start. Armani Brooks is 4-1. I mean, all the rest of the guys are viable here just because they're all going to play a ton of minutes tonight.
Okay. Yeah, for Kenyon Martin Jr., Chris, KJ is just Kenyon Jr. KJ Martin. Do you get it?
Yeah. Who said that?
Well, I mean, I thought of it, but then, yeah, Trigger also says it, Kenyon Jr. Timothy also says the J is just for Junior. Kenyon
Got
Jr.
It. Then why is he KJ Martin Jr. on DraftKings?
Oh, you mean on DraftKings has him as double junior? Kenyon Jr.
No,
Martin Jr.?
So FanDuel just has him as Kenyon Martin like his dad. And DraftKings has him as KJ Martin Jr.
I don't know. Maybe Timothy here knows. Or Trigger. J-Bill's asking if there's any decent 3K plays tonight, Chris, on DK, obviously.
Yeah, so I think some of these Houston guys, like if Daquan Jeffries ends up starting, he's going to be viable. If Anthony Lamb is starting, he's going to be viable. Avery Bradley as well. Just because with these 3K guys, you kind of just want minutes. I think you're going to get a lot of minutes out of these guys. So I like these 3 Rockets.
Okay. Trigger says Kevin Knox explosion incoming as well, Chris.
Explosion in what way?
Is he a beast?
I mean, I like him, but he just hasn't panned out.
Sean says if LeBron and the Lakers get kicked out of the playoffs, I think LeBron should come play tight end for my boys.
Who are his boys? What team?
I'm not sure. Jermaine says Greek or Sabonis?
Greek.
Nice. Trigger's saying what I think as well. I never thought I'd see the day where Kelly Olynyk is 8K on FanDuel.
I feel like he's had some of these like in past seasons, end of season, like on the Celtics. I think before, maybe not on the Heat, but yeah, 8K for. I think he was 7K last year against Boston or something, or against I don't know, but yeah, it is definitely crazy.
Yes. Then it says wait for LeBron. Wait till LeBron dies a flop in the NFL. Dudes will kick his ass.
In the NFL? I mean, the NFL isn't like this. I don't think it's this tough league. I mean, they're the same people.
Are there more injuries there though?
I think LeBron would absolutely dominate there.
Nice. Let's see. Trigger says because DK are the people who priced Kevin Hurt at 9K. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yes. Trigger says Cowboys. They suck. Sean says I'm a Cowboys fan. Let's see. We've got Uncomfy FK in here says I'm a Garry fan. What's up? Austin says think LeBron has enough concerns this offseason. What are his concerns this offseason, Chris?
I don't know. Maybe the vaccination stuff.
Is that it? What's going on there with him?
I don't know. He's not getting vaccinated.
LeBron?
Yep.
How come?
Just doesn't want it. Him and Schroeder, they're the only two.
Dennis Schroeder, really? Wow. Did they say why, or they just said they don't want it?
I don't know.
That's a interesting stance. I feel like it's definitely different than what like the league would be pushing on people.
Yep.
Which is interesting. It's pretty cool. Let's see. David says, since Robert Williams, since he's going to be high owned, should I pivot off to Brolo on DK tournaments?
I wouldn't do it. I mean, Robert Williams has all the upside. Brolo doesn't have much upside. Robert Williams has a pretty safe floor without TT. Brolo doesn't really have a safe floor. It was a DK question, right?
Yeah.
I think if you're pivoting, just go to Mo Bamba for 100 less.
Okay. Let's see. Trigger says Jerry Jones can eat my shorts.
Jerry Jones, is that the owner of the Cowboys?
Maybe, I don't know. You know me in other sports. I'm like, what's his face? Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, we need to get you on at least one other sport.
NHL.
One other real sport.
What are my options? NFL, MLB. That's it.
Pretty much.
I'd probably do.
Probably NFL. NFL once a week. MLB is every day, all the time.
That's true. Yeah, probably MLB. We can do maybe we can do a fantasy league.
NFL, not MLB.
Yeah, let's do fantasy NFL. I'll do it. JC says 5 out of 5. Get those margaritas. A lot of NFL. I don't know what's going on here, Chris. Jabo says, huh?
What are they saying?
Just some football stuff, I think. But basketball stuff, Jabo says, I noticed Austin Rivers starting. What do you have him projected?
Austin Rivers, Denver. Is he starting?
That's what Jabo says.
I mean, he played 33 minutes last game. What do we have him projected for? I don't think it's confirmed that he's starting, is it? Maybe. I mean, no more PJ Dozier, so very possible.
20?
Yeah, decent value piece there. I don't know if he has the upside. That's the problem, just because he's playing with Jokic and Porter Jr.
Yeah.
It is a revenge game, though.
Yeah, we like those. Austin says we need a dynasty league, Chris.
Does Dynasty League mean that it's keepers over the offseason?
Yeah, that's what we need for a basketball one. We should switch it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Should we switch it?
We would have to redraft.
We could just have a league vote.
We'd have to get Austin in there.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, let's do the next one, Chris. Memphis, Minnesota. Memphis, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. out. Projected starters, John Morant, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas. Who do you like there?
We just got news that Giannis is probable. Middleton is doubtful. So I'm going to try to go on my betting site because, I mean, I don't think Giannis is going to play here anymore. Just because, why would they list him probable? Actually, they listed Drew probable as well. But yeah, back-to-back here. So we've seen it, I think, a few times where the Bucks have rested their guys on back-to-backs. So yeah, let me see what I could do here with these bets.
Okay, let me see what
there's probably not too much just because it's just Middleton who's likely out as of now. So I guess that's how we'll treat it.
TBS says, don't want to hear any more stuff about fantasy sports. Gets me real sour. Yeah, I mean, our boy Mayo did you real dirty there in that in our fantasy league with the trades there. We should have done a trade. Fight fire with fire. Sean said, yeah, football stuff. I don't even know football stuff, so I'm just going to leave that out. Did you get your bets in, Chris?
Yeah, I just put one on the Wizards spread plus 4.5.
All right. But yeah, Memphis side, Chris. Anyone that you like here?
Oh wait, I'm so stupid. I marked Drew as out. It's Middleton who's out. What side? Sorry, who?
Memphis.
Yeah. So there's a pretty good matchup here against the Timberwolves. They're implied to score a lot of points. So I do have some interest in Ja in tournaments. This is the third highest over/under on the slate. Ja only 7K on FanDuel. DraftKings 8.3K. So if you want to play him, I'd do it on FanDuel. I don't think you need it on DraftKings for 8.3K. But I think there's some interesting maybe last piece guys here. So Grayson Allen, he's 3.6 on FanDuel. I think he's just a last piece guy just to fit in Giannis and Westbrook together. I think that's not a bad option. Desmond Bane on DK maybe for 3.4. I mean, the problem is this team just runs 12, 13 deep, so you don't really know who it's going to be. All their guys are going to play 25 minutes. So, yeah, I don't know. Probably the two guys I just mentioned, Grayson Allen on FanDuel as a last piece, maybe Desmond Bane on DK. Last game he went for 42, coming off the bench, played 26 minutes. So, yeah, it's kind of ugly on this team, but we get a really good matchup against the Timberwolves, so I don't mind it, but at the same time, I don't love it.
Okay. Question from Deshaun: Allen or Craig?
Allen or Craig? That one's kind of tough. I'll slightly go with Grayson Allen. And also, I just want to mention that I kind of brushed over Ja Morant, but I think on FanDuel where he's 7K, he's a really good play there.
Okay. Minnesota. Let's go over that. Trigger says cat! Exclamation emoji. No news for Minnesota. Projected starters: Rubio, Ant-Man, Kogi, Daniels, and Cat. Do you like Cat today, Chris?
I mean, it's tough to get to him just because I think everyone's going to play Robert Williams, maybe Mo Bamba now. But I think in tournaments he's very sneaky. Really good matchup here against Memphis. 10K on FanDuel, DraftKings he's 10.3. So I think he's priced where he should be. Maybe if Giannis is out, it'll be easier to get to someone like him. I honestly don't love it in cash games here today, but I think in tournaments it's a good call. And there's not really too much here. Like these guys are always tournament viable. Cat, Ant, and D'Lo. If I had to pick my favorite, I usually go with D'Lo, just because I love all the upside opportunity that he has if his shot is falling. He shoots the ball a lot. So yeah, D'Lo is my guy if I do want to play one, but I'm likely not going to play any Timberwolves here.
Okay. J-Bo says Kyle Anderson looks like a good option, and then Javonte saying Towns is going to go for 70 tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Towns have a ceiling game against the Grizzlies. And then Kyle Anderson, I mean, he's been playing better, kind of picking it up, so I guess I don't mind it, but I don't love playing the Grizzlies. That's the problem.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Phoenix at Atlanta. Phoenix side, Nader out, Crowder out. Projected starters: Chris Paul, Booker, Bridges, Torrey Craig, and DeAndre Ayton. Any interest there, Chris?
So I played Torrey Craig yesterday for the same price, 3.6 on FanDuel. I don't mind him there as the last piece, but he can be an exercise guy. That's the problem. I think he actually got hurt yesterday. He got bumped in the face twice, so he only played 21 minutes. But obviously he's okay. He's not on the injury report. I don't really want to play Booker. Don't want to play Paul. Don't want to play Ayton. We saw Paul have the ceiling game yesterday, 69 fantasy points on DK. I think 72 on FanDuel. Yeah, 72.2. So yeah, these guys are viable up top, Booker, Paul, Ayton, but I mean, for me, I don't want to sit here and list a bunch of guys that I don't really love, so I'm not going to.
Okay. Let's go over the Hawks. Over there, we have Bogdanovich back in. Projected starters, Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Tony Snell, John Collins, and Capella. I think we have a few guys out as well for them, Hunter and Reddish. Who do you like here on the Hawks, Chris?
I mean, not really anyone, honestly. Don't love the matchup against Phoenix. They're pretty tough defensively. Maybe Trae Young. I don't think many people play him in tournaments tonight. I always love the upside that he has as well. Clint Capella, same sort of thing. So maybe those two guys in tournaments. Nothing here in cash games, of course. They don't have any injuries that we really want to take advantage of other than their wings who have been out for a long time. So, yeah, nothing really here for me. Maybe Trae Young in tournaments.
Okay. Let's go to the next game. Sacramento, Indiana. Let's see. Question here. Comment from Hasty says, Frank the Tank after Aiden goes out with 2 fouls in 4 minutes. Thoughts?
Frank the Tank after Ayton goes out, and yeah, I mean, like whenever Frank gets minutes, he always crushes. But I mean, you're guessing on foul trouble at that point with Ayton, which I don't think is going to really happen against someone like Clint Capella. All his points come from lobs, so he's not really drawing any fouls. And then Trae Young usually draws his fouls on the guards from his jump shots, not really driving to the rim. So I don't really see how someone like DeAndre Ayton is going to get into foul trouble here. So yeah, I don't love Frank here, but if Frank was on his own team where he was starting every night, playing 30 plus minutes, he would be probably, I don't know, 6-7K in DFS.
Yep. David says, thoughts on Anthony Gill?
Anthony Gill, who does he play for? Washington? I mean, he's like their fourth string. Is that the same guy who asked about Jake Layman?
Wasn't Jake Layden Trigger?
Maybe, but
yeah, that was Trigger.
Gill has been playing decently. If you look at his game log, he's been producing decently, but he hasn't been getting many minutes. Like, played 18. He didn't even play 18 minutes last game. That was like 5 games ago. So he's been out of the rotation.
Yeah. Let's go through this game, Chris. Sacramento. Some more comments, actually. Let's see. Hasty says, good analysis on Frank. Thanks for that. Jabo says, would Sabonis or Towns be the best option if Giannis is sitting tonight?
Sabonis or Towns? I'd go with Sabonis, especially if Brogdon is out.
Okay, and then David's asking for DK, GPP to pivot off of the value Houston guys. That's why he asked about Anthony Gill.
Yeah, I mean, he's been out of the rotation. He was playing when Rolo... I mean, you're probably asking because Hachimura is out. I think Gill actually plays the 5 for them. I don't think he's going to play much here. So, yeah, I don't love Anthony Gill.
Okay, and then we got a doozy here from Trigger Chris. He says, Keita Bates, Diop, or Etuan Moore, FanDuel.
Is Etuan Moore still in the league? Is he on Phoenix? Maybe last year he was on Phoenix. Yeah, these are some tough names.
So who are you picking?
I'll take Bates Diop.
Nice. Yeah, Sacramento, Indiana, Chris. Let's go over Sacramento. So we got De'Aaron Fox out. Should be back soon. Robert Woodard out. Harrison Barnes doubtful. And then Chimezie Metu questionable. Projected starters Delon Wright, Buddy Buckets, Mo Harkless, Bagley, and Rashawn Holmes. Anybody there?
Yeah, so similar situation to yesterday. Bunch of guys injured. Really good matchup against the Pacers. We saw the Pacers-Wizards game last time. Went for 290 overall points. Over-under here is 240. I'd honestly take the over here. Just the Pacers don't play any defense without Miles Turner in the lineup. So, yeah, I have a ton of interest in the Sacramento Kings here. Starts with DeLon Wright with no Fox, no Halliburton. We saw him go for 60 last night. He's 5'6" on DK. FanDuel 5'2", so he's just a free square on this slate. He's the best value play, in my opinion, that we have. So he's the guy for me on both sites that I love. And then there's some other guys here. I guess I'll go with the other guard, Buddy Hield. He's 7'3" on FanDuel. DraftKings, he is 7.7K. So he's the expensive guy here. I don't think he's going to get much ownership on this slate, just because we have Kevin Porter Jr. as well at small forward. We have Michael Porter Jr. So, yeah, I don't think Buddy Hield's going to get much love, but I do like him a lot in tournaments, especially if his shot is falling. We know the upside that this guy has, so I don't mind him. Terrence Davis as well. We saw him yesterday have a really good game. His shot was on. He was 3-8 on FanDuel. He was pretty chalky. What is he today? 3-8 still. So he played 31 minutes, 25 fantasy points. That's really good for this price tag. So don't mind Terrence Davis for value. Probably more of a FanDuel play here. DraftKings, he is 4.4K, so a little more expensive. And then you have the two bigs in Bagley and Holmes who are interesting. Bagley is 5.4 on DK. FanDuel, he's 6.5, so not interested on FanDuel, but I think on DraftKings, super solid play for 5.4. He's been playing better ever since he came back from his injury. Just looks a lot more aggressive, looks strong, just looks a lot better. Looks like he's in the right space, so I do like playing Bagley here on DK for 5.4. Rashawn Holmes, he's 6.5 on DK, 6.6 on FanDuel. Don't mind him either. Especially if Metu ends up being ruled out, that's going to be a few extra minutes for these guys. So yeah, I have a ton of interest in all the Kings, just because it's a really good matchup here against the Pacers, and there's a ton of injury news from this team.
Okay. David's asking thoughts on Shaq Harrison on DraftKings.
Jeez, Shaq Harrison. Who does he even play for anymore? I mean, who does he play for now?
Let's see.
I remember seeing him recently. Denver. I don't know. So no Dozier, I guess. That's the reasoning behind it. But if he's not starting, he's likely going to play under 20 minutes. So I just don't see the need to do it. I mean, I see the reasoning behind it because Dozier's out now, but I don't see the reason why. We have a ton of value here with the Rockets, Kings, Magic. So I don't really think I need it.
Okay. He says, love that DeLon is getting a good run. Was solid in college. Sean says Bagley or Williams, Chris.
That is tough. Probably go with Marvin Bagley.
Okay, and then David Correa, he was asking about Terrence Davis, but you kind of went over that, I think, as he asked it. But what are your thoughts on him quickly?
I'd say a better play on FanDuel just because he's cheaper over there. So yeah, I like him a lot on FanDuel. DK, he hasn't really made my lineups.
Okay, let's go over Indiana. Over there, we have Edmund Sumner, questionable. Jeremy Lamb, Malcolm Brogdon, Goga Bitadze, questionable. Jakar Sampson is out. Projected starters: Brogdon, LeVert, Sumner, Brissett, and Sabonis. Yeah, are we just waiting? Before we decide what we're doing for Indiana, are we waiting for the Brogdon questionable tag? Some of their other questionable tags, Chris?
Yeah, so if Brogdon is out, going to have a ton of interest in LeVert and Sabonis here, TJ McConnell as well. Just a really good matchup against the Kings. They're implied to score 123. They're playing super fast. I don't know. Going to have a ton of interest here if Brogdon is out. If Brogdon isn't out, so if he's playing, I'm going to have less interest just because these other guys are kind of priced as if Brogdon was going to be out. We have Sabonis for 10-3 on FanDuel, which is just crazy high. He's 10-6 on DK. He's been playing like it, though. He's gotten 75 in each of his last two games, so he's been crushing. Same as LeVert. So, I mean, if Brogdon ends up playing, which I probably don't think he does, then I'm not going to be too interested in this team outside of last pieces just because they're priced up. But if Brogdon's out, then I'm going to have a ton of interest. So we do have to kind of wait for it. I think backloading today on this slate is going to be very valuable.
Okay. Get your late swapping ready. J-Bo says he likes McConnell if Broggy's out.
Yeah, McConnell if Broggy's out. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Next game up, Washington, Milwaukee. So you like this game, Chris. Washington side, we have Hachimura out for them. Projected starters: Westy, Neto, Beal, Bertans, and Alex Len. Anybody here, Chris? I mean, who on the Wizards do you like today?
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much always Westbrook here on the Wizards. he does everything for this team. We saw him have that crazy game yesterday, or not yesterday, two days ago. I think he had like 24 assists, 20 rebounds, and 10 points. So I mean, he's playing out of his mind, just playing awesome. It's super fun to watch. So I think you got to play him on both sites. He's 11-2 on FanDuel, DraftKings. He is 11K. I mean, the floor that he gives you is just so valuable. So that's why I think you can play him. There's a ton of value on the slate as well. So it's easy to get to him as well. So I love Westbrook tonight. He's going to be the wizard that I choose. Beal, just because I'm playing Westbrook on both sites, I don't really think I need to go to Bradley Beal. He's a decent play, probably more so on FanDuel where he's 9-1 still. DraftKings, he's 9-5. So I guess I don't mind him. But I mean, it's just Westbrook for the most part here. We have Hachimura out as well today, so maybe Bertans, if he ends up starting, will be interesting. I want to see who they do end up starting. They could start Hutchison, maybe Garrison Matthews. They've started Garrison Matthews in the past in this situation. But regardless of who it is, we know that all the production here is going to come from Westbrook and Beal. So I'm going to stick with those two guys, and Westbrook is my priority here.
Okay. Let's see. Hasty says, Chris, is it time to take back all the bad things you said about my boy TJ, not an exercise guy?
TJ who?
TJ McConnell.
I've never said that TJ McConnell is an exercise guy. I say Okoro is. I say a few other guys, but not TJ. TJ is he's a hustle guy. Like, he's like an Aaron Kraft on steroids.
I don't think you've said he's an exercise guy. Maybe when he was like priced too high, you said maybe concerns then, like after he had like the 10 steal game or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He always assists very well. I've loved playing him on the Sixers before. He had that huge game winner, I think against the Knicks when he was on the Sixers, that baseline fadeaway turnaround shot. So I mean, I love the guy. I love watching him play.
Yeah. So I guess if you did ever say something, that's your way of taking it back, but you, for the record, you don't think you did say anything like that.
I mean, maybe I have. Sometimes I throw it around too loosely, I guess, but I don't think I have.
He says, thanks, Chris. TJ's so smart on the court, Rondo-esque at times.
Rondo-esque. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like watching him play a lot. He seems to get like one inbound steal, so when the other team is inbounding it after a basket, he seems to get one a game of that type.
Yeah. Milwaukee, Chris, let's go over them. So we have Axel Tupain. I think he was marked out, so he's out. Jeff Teague, questionable. Projected starters: Drew Holiday, DiVincenzo, Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then Brook Lopez. Who do you like here, Chris, on the Bucks going up against the Wizards, team we left to target against?
So we got news about Josh Jackson. He's out tomorrow with the tooth once again. So that's a real thing, I'm telling you.
Just a bad dentist.
Yeah, I mean, lots of nerves in your mouth, like I said.
Sour Patch Kids. I think Dinda said it. He needs to get off the Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, the Bucks here. This is also why I think it's interesting to backload because, like I said earlier, we've seen this situation where they do rest their guys on back-to-backs. They've only said that Chris Middleton is out for now, where he's doubtful, which we always treat as out. And then Drew and Giannis are both probable. So, I mean, we got to just go with the injury report for now. With Middleton doubtful and Drew and Giannis probable, it just makes Drew and Giannis super solid plays here against the Wizards. Giannis 11-4 on FanDuel, just way too cheap against the Wizards. 10-9 on DK, way too cheap as well. So I think he's a lock for me on both sites. Like I said, you can fit him and Westbrook together, I think, on this slate. So, yeah, I love playing up for Giannis here in this matchup. No Middleton now, so even better spot for him. And then Drew Holiday, another guy who's interesting. He's 7.8K on FanDuel. No Middleton, so he gets that bump. He gets the extra usage as well from that. He's 8K on DK, so a little more expensive. Still a solid play. But if I am spending up here, my priority is going to be Giannis. And then I'm interested to see who they do end up starting for Chris Middleton. Could be Bryn Forbes, could be Pat Connaughton. I'm probably going to have interest in whoever it is just because they're going to play a lot of minutes in this matchup against the Wizards. The Bucks here are implied to score 123 points, so that's super high. So any value guys we get here are going to be solid plays. I think Dante DiVincenzo is another guy here who's going to get a big bump. He's 4-6 on DK. FanDuel, he's 5-1. Super good matchup, like I said. No Middleton. So I think he's going to get a pretty big bump here. So I think he's a super solid play on this slate at shooting guard. And then, like I said, Pat Connaughton or Bryn Forbes, whoever ends up starting, I'm going to have interest in.
Okay. David here is giving us a tournament lineup. So just maybe tell me anyone you don't like here, Chris. If anyone. He says DK tournament if Giannis is out. Austin Rivers, Daquan Jeffries, Anthony Lamb, KJ Martin Jr., Brook Lopez, Westbrook, Kat, Sabonis.
Yeah, so I mean, the problem I have with that is you're treating it as if Giannis is out, but then you're not really getting the Bucks guys who would pop a lot. So Portis would be a lock if Giannis was out. Dante would be a lock if he's playing. So that's why it's kind of hard to judge that lineup. There's a lot of value guys there. I would try to get Giannis if he does end up playing. But yeah, I mean, I think you just have to wait for the news.
Okay. So we did that. Can move on to the next game. Have to refresh the page. Guess not. Let's see. Yeah, because this is the development server. It's a little bit slower than the live one, so sometimes a little bit of issues like this, but there we go. So next game, Chris, San Antonio against the Utah Jazz. Spurs side, we just have Trey Lyles marked as out. Projected starters, DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and then Jakob. Who do you like there, Chris, up against the Jazz? You usually don't like to play teams facing the Jazz, and I think you also usually don't like playing the Spurs.
Yeah, so there's nothing here for me. I mean, DeMar and DeJounte, we know the upside that they have. So if they can keep this game close, if they can somehow win, I think they could, or one of them could have a big game here. But if we're spending up, as I always say on these slates where we just have these superstars, I'd rather get up to Westbrook, Giannis, Sabonis. So it makes it hard to go to like 9K for DeJounte or DeMar. So I don't love them, but I think one of these guys could get there.
Okay. Other half, Utah side, we have Mike Conley out, D. Mitch out, and then Azubuike out. Projected starters, Jingle Joes, Royce O'Neal, Bojan Bogdanovic, George Niang, and Rudy Gobert. Anybody on the Jazz, Chris?
Yeah, so we have the same situation that we've had for, I think, a week now with Conley out. And then obviously Mitchell is still out with the ankle. So I do have some interest in Clarkson, Ingles, Bogey. I think they're all viable here. On DK, they're all priced around 7K, so don't really need them over there. But I think on FanDuel, where they're all priced around 6K, that's where they're more interesting to me. We have Clarkson for 6.5, Ingles for 6K, and Bogey for 5.7. Those three are going to be my favorite Utah guys here. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with Clarkson, just because he's a shooting guard. Ingles and Bogey, they're both small forwards. We have the Porter Jr. duo there, which I like a lot on FanDuel at small forward, Michael Porter and Kevin Porter. So if I'm picking one, it's going to be Clarkson. I think he's a solid last piece here. We know the upside that he has in this situation. He had like 26 fantasy points at the half last game, and then had a pretty slow second half against the Spurs. So he only finished with 32, but he did play 34 minutes, which was good to see. So yeah, I like Clarkson here. He's going to be my favorite Jazz guy, but Ingles and Bogey, they're both viable as well.
Okay. Let's move on to the last game, Knicks against the Nuggets. New York side first, we got Norvel Pell, questionable, Alec Burks, probable, Nerlens Noel, probable as well. Projected starters, we have Alfred Payton, Bullock, Barrett, Julius Randle, and Nerlens Noel. Anybody on the Knicks, Chris?
Not too much here. It's usually just Randle if I'm playing a Knick, and I'm probably not going to play a New York Knick here. It's a late night hammer, but I don't know. I don't really love playing the Knicks in these matchups against not slower teams, but middle of the pack teams like Denver. I usually like playing them against teams like Washington, Sacramento, Indiana, some of the higher paced teams where you got a massive pace up spot. Don't love it here against the Nuggets. I guess Randall is fine, like I mentioned. He's 9-7 on FanDuel, 10K on DK. But same thing I said with some other studs. Like, if you're paying this much, you might as well just get up to Westbrook and Giannis, who are just going to crush, I think, or someone like Sabonis. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't love it, but if you want to play Randall, I guess he's fine as a tournament pivot off of someone like Giannis.
Okay. Hasty just says this should be a good game to watch, at the very least.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Yes. Denver side, Monte Morris out, Barden out, Dozier out, and then Najee and Jokic both marked as probable projected starters. Gopazzo, Austin Rivers, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Nikola Jokic. Any interest there, Chris? I usually don't like to target teams facing the Knicks.
Yeah, but we have some injuries here, some new injuries with PJ Dozier now. He's out. He's been starting for them. He's been playing around 30-plus minutes ever since he began starting. So I do have some interest in these guys still. Facu, Campazzo. I had him in my lineup earlier before we got the Middleton news. We have Dante DiVincenzo for the same price on TK. They're both 4-6. I'd rather just go to Dante now against the Wizards with no Middleton. But I did have interest in Facu before. I think he's still viable in tournaments as a last piece. Same sort of thing for Rivers. Rivers is 3-4 on DraftKings. He might start. We don't know yet, I don't think. Someone in the chat said he is going to start. But we will. I think he's a decent play. Revenge game, we also said that. So I don't mind him. He played 33 minutes last game, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to land there, honestly. And then Jokic, he's the guy that's always in play. He's the MVP this year, in my opinion. He's 10.9K on FanDuel, which is pretty hard to get to with one center. DraftKings, he's 10-7. Also, pretty hard to get to just because we have these other studs that I keep mentioning. But I do like Jokic as a tournament pivot off of someone like Giannis, off of someone like Westbrook, because he has all the upside in the world, just like these other two guys. So I don't mind that. And then last guy I'll mention here, Michael Porter Jr. He's 7-7 on FanDuel. DraftKings 8-4. So better play on FanDuel, in my opinion. I think he fits the cash game build over there on FanDuel for 7-7.
Okay. Javante says, thoughts on Thanasis if Giannis sits?
Yeah, he's going to be a lock if Drew and Giannis sit.
Okay. Let's get into three pillars, three key plays of the day. Chris started off with FanDuel. Overall play of the day there, safest guy in your eyes, cash tournaments, all formats. Who's your guy there?
I'll go with Giannis here.
Okay. If Giannis sits, who would it be?
I mean, that would just change the entire slate. He's listed as probable, so I don't really want to kind of go both ways because it would change the entire build.
Makes sense. Value play, who do you have?
I'll say it's between DeLon Wright and Kenyon Martin. I think Kenyon Martin is cheaper, so I'll go with Kenyon Martin.
Okay. Kenyon Martin, there we go. Tournament play of the day on FanDuel, who do you have there?
Let's go with Jokic, just because it'll change your build so much using him as a spend up instead of someone like Giannis. So I'll say Jokic.
Okay. And then same thing on DK. Overall play, who do you have there?
Same thing over here. I'll go with Giannis.
And then value play?
I'll go with KJ Martin once again. He's a little cheaper here as well.
And then tournament play of the day on DK, who's your guy?
Let's go with the Joker.
Jokic again. Okay. Let me load up the core on the other site. Don't have it here because this is testing server. So you have Giannis, you have Porter, or Kevin Porter, DeLon Wright, and then Kenyon Martin. So four guys here, Chris, on FanDuel. Why do you like these plays so much here today?
So two guys I already mentioned with Giannis and Martin, Kevin Porter Jr., same thing as Martin. They're very thin. He should play 40-plus minutes here. I'm not worried about the blowout with him. He's going to shoot a bunch. So I love him. And then DeLon Wright, obviously, just a smash play here without Fox, without Halliburton. He went for 60 last night, just way too cheap.
Okay. And then which ones do you want to go over here? Seeing some differences here between the center, actually. So like 3 different centers in the top 4.
Yeah, so we can take a look at... wait, I think you have to refresh because something doesn't look right there.
What about now?
Who did you lock?
Giannis, Kevin Porter, DeLon Wright, Martin.
Yeah, let's go to the other site. Let's go to the main site.
Something look off. We should write it down, fix it.
Yeah, it's just not updated, I don't think.
The projections or what?
Some of the older teams.
Can you tell me about it later so I can check it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, let's just lock these here. Hit build. Yeah, a little different here. Mo Bamba. Which ones do you want to go over?
Yeah, so let's look at the first 2 here. One of them has Drew. One of them has Westbrook. So I think it's going to be one of these 2 teams.
Okay. Yep, 2v2.
Yeah, so so I'll go over the rest of the lineup quickly. Also, I think the thing that's wrong on the other side is that I marked Drew at 0 before by accident, and he's still at 0 over there, so that's why we weren't getting him. But yeah, we have DeLon right here at 5-2. Locked him in. Terrence Davis 3-8. Played 31 minutes yesterday. Had a really good game. So I think he's a super solid play here for his price tag. The Porter Jr. bros, not actually bros, but same last name. I like that duo at small forward. Giannis and Martin, that's going to be the chalk at power forward. And then Robert Williams here, 5'4", better play on FanDuel with his stocks upside, so I like that. I think Bamba is the play on DK, where he's even cheaper. So I like Williams here. If you want to spend up extra $1,000 to go to Bamba, I don't mind that either. But I think Williams is fine here. And then we have the 2v2, Drew and Clarkson versus Westbrook and Allen. This one's kind of tough just because second side has Westbrook, who can beat Drew and Clarkson on his own. He can go for 75. He has that upside. But then the first side, it feels a little safer because it feels like Drew's going to go for 45 plus here in this matchup against the Wizards with no Middleton. Obviously, we only project him for 41.8. But I don't know. I like the matchup a lot against the Wizards. I think it's going to be a fast-paced game. So I do like Drew a lot. And then Clarkson, always a solid play with no Conley, with no Mitchell. Whereas the second side, the second piece of the lineup is Grayson Allen, who I don't really love. I think he's fine as a last piece. But yeah, I don't really know. I guess I'd lean with the first side.
Okay. Hasty says, love T. Davis, love the football guys. Do you know about his football history, Chris?
Yeah, I think he was like a star in, I don't remember where, but I think in high school he was a football star.
Nice. Royal King says he likes Westy. Do you like Westy, Chris?
I love Westy.
Okay, then I'll just go to the other site here as well. For DK, Dinda also likes Westy.
Yeah, I know Dinda's he's gonna play Westbrook for sure.
Yeah. So DK, Chris, you have 5 locks, 5 core plays here. Giannis, Westy, DeLon Wright, Mo Bamba, and KJ Martin Jr. KJ Jr. Martin Jr. Why do you like these guys here?
Yeah, so it's easier to fit the 2 studs in on DraftKings because you have some cheaper guys. And then we have DeLon Wright, free square. Bamba, 5'3", no, what's his name? No Wendell Carter. Bamba starting, so Bamba's a lock here. And then KJ Martin, even cheaper on DK, so that's why I have him.
Okay, and then which ones shall we go over here?
Let's look at the first 2. It's just a 1v1. I kind of mentioned it when we were going over Denver with Campazzo. But yeah, just that 1v1 between those 2 guys. We have a lot of locks here, so we already talked about a bunch of these guys. who are the same. Didn't talk about Connaughton, 3-2 here, no Middleton, so I think he's a decent option. Like I said, if Bryn Forbes ends up starting, Bryn Forbes is 3-3, so he's going to be the play. Both of these lineups have the extra $100 to get up to Bryn Forbes if he does end up starting. So that's what I'll do, but I think that Connaughton will start, so that's why he's currently here. And then we have Bagley as well. He's the only other guy who's not in the core, but he's in both lineups, 5.4K. Just a super solid play. Really good matchup against the Pacers. Good situation, good price tag. So I like him. And then 1v1, Dante versus Campazzo. Talked about this as well. I prefer Dante just because of the matchup against the Wizards, no Middleton. Whenever I can just get someone in a better spot, I'm going to do that. So I like Dante here over Campazzo.
Okay. Hasty says, I hate Westy, too spazzy, but he can play ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. Should we go over the single game one here for Wild King, Chris? Which one? Knicks, Denver, Phoenix, Atlanta? What do you think?
Any of them.
Okay. Is it going to be Randall, Jokic, Randall, Jokic, mostly Jokic?
Yeah, just Jokic.
Yeah, let's think about who could have the highest scoring night here. Michael Porter Jr. he has a ceiling on him, pretty high ceiling, but probably less likely than Randall beating Jokic. Most likely scenario here, Jokic being first, but I mean, I could see Randall beating Jokic. Can you?
Yeah, Randall. I think Randall's viable, but he's going to probably have some ownership at MVP. I'd probably say it's going to be like 60% on Jokic, MVP, 20% Randall, maybe 30% Randall. And then after that, it was a pretty big drop off. Like, I don't think Porter is going to beat Randall or Jokic. He might beat one of the two, but I don't think he's going to beat both of them. So yeah, this slate's kind of tough. Probably have to get different somewhere else with someone like Shaq Harrison, who's popping a lot as the value guy. I imagine he's pretty cheap here. PJ Dozier's out, so Shaq's probably going to get 15 plus minutes. But yeah, this slate, I don't know, probably going to be pretty chalky. There's a 1.3 projection difference between the first two teams. So it looks like the first team is actually pretty obvious.
Okay, let's go over the other one, Phoenix, Atlanta. Let's see what we have here. Trae Young, Capella, nobody on the Suns, Chris. Could you see anyone on the Suns being the leading fantasy point producer in this game?
Yeah, but I mean, I hate playing these Phoenix Suns showdown slates. We saw Chris Paul go for 70 yesterday. We see Booker have ceiling games. You see Ayton have ceiling games. So you just never know. You're basically picking between 5 viable guys in this entire game with Young, Capella, and then the 3 Suns. So I don't love this one.
Just lock in Capella, hope for a ceiling game, maybe like 6 blocks, 20 rebounds, 20 points, something like that.
Yeah, you love him, don't you?
Yeah, he's good. Had to give him up, though, to you in the season long. Anything else, Chris, to go over?
No, I think that's it.
Housekeeping stuff. Check out our site, guys, dfscrunch.com, our optimizer, our projections, our community as well. You also get our Discord, so check it out, dfscrunch.com. If you're a new member, never been a member, you'll get 3 days for free, so you won't be billed or charged or anything like that until after your first 3 days, 72 hours from when you sign up. Completely free for those 3 days, and you get access to everything: our Discord, our optimizer, all the sites that we have, FanDuel, DraftKings, and then all the sports that we have, plus all the slates for all those sports. So a bunch of slates here for NBA on FanDuel alone. You get access to all of that, so check it out, dfscrunch.com. Try it out, no risk at all. More than welcome to cancel before, but try it out if you play DFS. Just a quick recap how to manage your account if you do go for the trial. It's in the sidebar here on the bottom left, and then hover over this thing, click Account Center, and then that is where you can manage your subscription, cancel it, update it, whatever you need to do. So check that out, dfscrunch.com. YouTube stuff. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Appreciate that a lot. Helps us grow. Hit subscribe as well. Hit the bell button and hit the all text if you want to come back here, if you enjoyed the show. It makes it easier to follow with our show, follow up with our schedule. But every day it's 2.5 hours before main slate, weekends included. So any day there's an NBA slate, we'll be doing the show. So be sure to do that. Yeah, I think that's it. Chris, anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, Roll King says, yeah, I'm starting to hate the Suns single slates as well. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be in the Discord as we always are. So come hang out there if you have more questions. Happy to help over there. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at it tomorrow. And good luck today, guys.